morning everyone, hope we're doing well today. Thank you for coming to join me on my drive to work again. Welcome to everyone who's new to the channel, welcome to everyone who's returning. It makes it, like I said before, means a lot to me. But yeah, thank you guys for coming along, let's get into it. So, it's going to be another Arsenal based video today. I think the fact that it's just towards the international break, the end of the international break, it is hard to find content to do sometimes in international breaks. So I actually just wanted to look around what's going on at the moment in the current world, current climate, and I've seen that this morning, well it's Tuesday today, Arteta has basically come out and said that Arsenal's transfer window is going to be big this summer. He said the words that they're very excited about this summer, and it's going to be a big transfer window for the club. He wants to improve the depth of the side and quality, which I think everyone can see from the outside we do need to do. Sorry guys, I've popped my ears there for a sec. Yeah. So as an Arsenal fan, it's quite exciting. I think we haven't really got a transfer window and thought, oh yes, since we're going to do like loads of business. I think Declan Rice might be the most we've got excited about as a fan base since Aubameyang maybe. It's a good few years, and if we're thinking about how much of a kitty Arsenal are going to have to spend, I think we're looking upwards of 150 mil maybe. I've been seeing rumours of 300 mil here, and I don't see us spending 300 mil. Sorry guys, I can't really do anything about this sun. It is what it is, you know. Yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, I've been seeing 300 mil has been splashed around in a lot of places. We've obviously bought in. Sorry guys, I have waken up, I promise. I was recording that predictions video last night, so it got into bed a bit late. Yeah. Andrea Berta, I think his name is, sporting director now. I've been seeing on his list of players, you've got Bruno G, Mendy, Isak, but a player we've been linked to heavily the past couple of days is Viktor Gyökeres, which, not as exciting as Isak, but I think the next best striker you probably go and get. There's obviously Osimhen out there, but I've seen more from Gyökeres than I have seen from Osimhen, personally. I think the big test for Gyökeres was when Amorim left Sporting, if his goals would dry up or if he would continue to kick on. And from the looks of it, he's just kicked on, and he's scoring for Sweden as well now. So I think he's got 42 goal contributions in 42 games, something like that. So he's one of the most prolific strikers in Europe this season. Am I apprehensive about it? Slightly apprehensive. Obviously Darwin Nunez came from over there. Gedson Fernandes, if you remember, Spurs fans. Oh, I do apologise guys, I'm trying to keep myself from doing that. So yeah, it's very hit and miss the Portuguese league sometimes. You can get a Bruno Fernandes or you can get a Gedson Fernandes. Like, it could be anything. Do I like it? Yes. Yeah, I do like it. Like I said, it's the second best option that you can go and get. I think because we've sold ourselves on Isak stupidly, I think it's a bit of a, we could have, like, you feel like Isak's is going to move. He might not actually, because you'll see my predictions video where I think Newcastle will finish, and I look at that and go, they don't need to sell him if they finish in that position, and Isak might not want to leave. I think Newcastle only sell Isak if he pushes for a move, and he's what, 25 now. He could do another season at Newcastle if they do finish in the European places, in the Champions League spots. There's 5 places now, so if they finish in any of those spots, They don't need to sell him, and I don't see why they would want to sell him, to be honest, because it's going to be so hard to replace him for them. Unless they were going to do what I've just said about go get Gyökeres, you know, go sell Isak and buy Gyökeres. Maybe you could do that, but I just don't see it. I don't see them doing the deal. I think they're going to be really hard to negotiate with if they get their Champions League football. So it wouldn't surprise me if we have just gone that we're not going to waste our time with the Isak deal, and Newcastle might have said to them that we're not selling. They might have just literally said they're not selling. Or he might end up at Liverpool. If he ends up at Liverpool, it'll be a bit of a kick in the teeth, to be honest. But Gyökeres, he's done it in the Champions League for them. The whole team fell off after Amorim left in that Champions League. They started really well. He looked really good, and he's kind of the sort of striker we need. Physical unit up front. He's rapid as well. Bit of a fox in the box for us. Not going to get involved in build-up play too much. Hopefully, he just looks like a very good. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to get myself a coffee when I get to work. He just looks like a very good acquisition if you can get it done. I think his release clause is about 80 million. So it's definitely a deal that I think could get done and might just get done. But it's not everything that we need to do this summer. So what's the rest of the money going to go on? I think Zubimendi, I think that will happen. I think the Real Madrid rumours are probably from his agent to try and stir up another bump up in the contract negotiations or something. Or maybe you sort of see that trying to up the price a bit. Something like that's going on there. Real Madrid rumours. So I think Zubimendi will end up coming in for about 50 million. So that's already what, 130 million you spent there. The one which I look at next, who I would really want us to go and get, is Nico Williams, sorry. Obviously the younger brother of Inaki, plays left wing for Spain and for Bilbao, and I think he's just such a top talent. And if you can go and get him, basically, that's how I look at it. I would love for us to go and get him, and we have been linked to him quite heavily as well. I think Barcelona can't afford him. Like, no matter what, I just don't think they can afford him. I know they get money from the Club World Cup, but the club's a mess right now. They don't need to go and get another winger. Like, they've got Yamal and they've got Rafinha. They don't need to go and get Nico Williams. It would be so pointless to do it. So I don't actually see them doing that. Oh, bloody traffic. So yeah, I would love for us to go and get Nico Williams, and I definitely think it's a deal which is there to be done. I would want to move quickly with it though, because I think other teams will swarm around him if the chance comes. He'd probably have to take a pay cut to join Arsenal. I think he's on about 300 grand a week at Bilbao with his new contract, because obviously Jesus, I'm really sorry guys. I don't know what's going on with me today. I know I'm tired, but this is not like me to have so many yawns in one go. 9-minute video, I must have yawned about once every minute, so I do apologise for that. Yeah, what was I trying to say? Yeah, so obviously Bilbao pay their players really well because they don't spend money on transfer fees, they spend money on the players instead. So it will take a pretty penny to get them out of there. Transfer fee wise, I think you're looking at 60-70 mil. I think you will have a release clause around that point. I think it's still valid. And I think that's the left winger you have to go and get. If you can get one, you get him. I think I've seen links with like Simon Adingra. I've seen links with Cunha, Joao Pedro. I would take Cunha. If we could play Cunha on the left wing, yeah, I'll take him. Because what Arsenal need, to be fair, I think in January Cunha was my dream signing, and he was available. We definitely went after him. I think 100% we had talks with him. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did come back in for him. But it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool if they didn't get Isak, they went after Cunha. I could also see that. I really like Cunha. I know he's got a bit of a temperament on him, like he can lose his head a little bit sometimes, but I think when you're playing down the bottom and you are the best player and you are just so much better than everyone else in that situation, you can get frustrated. I think that's part of it, because he just thinks he shouldn't be in that relegation fight. You know, the quality of player he is, he should be playing Champions League football, and he should be. So I don't necessarily have much of a concern about that. I think a lot of that boils down to frustration of the situation he's found himself in. Because obviously when he moved to Wolves, they were actually doing quite well and moving forward as a club, and now they've regressed to a relegation battle side. So I would love for us to go get Matheus Cunha. If I had my dream transfer window, I'd be looking at maybe them 4, maybe. I think that would give us plenty of options up front. You could have Cunha, Gyökeres or Havertz up front. You could play Cunha out on the left if you wanted. But this is all just paper talk. And obviously we're not the only teams in for these players. And like I said, I think Cunha at Liverpool would be a very good match as well. He's got that sort of Luis Diaz mould sort of as a number 9, like he's going to play as like a false 9 sort of thing. So I would love to see Cunha in an Arsenal shirt. Whether or not that's going to happen will be very interesting. £62 million to release clause, I think is a snip. I think you're getting a very clinical striker for that amount of money, and I think he's so impressive. I think he's so clinical, and yeah, I would love for Arsenal to go and do that deal. I think it would just take our attack to that next level, which is weird saying when you're linked with Gyökeres. But like I said, I do but because it's such a risk buy from the Portuguese league, I would buy another forward with him. It just makes me a little bit nervous. I'll still back him, I'll still be excited, but it's just a little bit of a risk, which, if it works, it probably takes Arsenal to a league title potentially. If it doesn't, then you're lumped with another 80 million pound player like Darwin Núñez at Liverpool. So that's the only thing I think when I look at Gyökeres. He looks like he has the attributes to the league, and he actually looks like he would suit the Premier with his pace and his physicality. But I've only watched him in the Champions League, really. I'm not going to pretend like I go and watch Sporting against Benfica every week, because I don't. But he's played in England before, so he knows what to expect as well. But he didn't perform very well when he was in England. But you look at someone like a Mo Salah, who also Kevin De Bruyne, for example. You know, them two were both in England when they were younger, went away, applied their trade elsewhere, learnt the skills, and came back and tore it up. There's no reason Gyökeres can't do the same thing as those two. So I like all the links we're getting to at the moment. I just don't want to see us bring in any more defenders. That's the only one. I look at that and go, just don't bring in more defenders. We have so much cover in defence right now. Don't bring in a right-sided player, because you're going to have Ranieri to cover Saka. And if you bring in someone like a Nico Williams, they can play on either side as well. So I just think, focus on that left side, bring in the central midfielder, or hold in middle, whatever you want to do. And would I give Partey a new contract? I'd look at it. I'd definitely look at it, because I just think he's been the glue for our team this season. I think he's been our most consistent performer over the course of the season, especially in the midfield. I think he's been just so good there, and I think it'd be a real shame if we did let him go. But from the looks of it, I think he might end up going now. I think when contracts get down to April and there's 6 weeks left of the season, I think you're running the risk of losing the players. So I look at you look at Liverpool now, and it's like, what's going to change within 6 weeks? They're already top of the league. If they were going to sign their contracts to Liverpool, they would have done it off the back of maybe the Carabao Cup or over the international break, or announced it around then. You've seen obviously Trent's going now, but the other two haven't been announced, so it would make me very cautious if I was Liverpool, to be honest. But anyway, that's all I want to talk about today. Arsenal's little transfer kitty and who we can expect to be signing in the summer. It's very exciting times as an Arsenal fan, I think, after a bit of a laboured season. So yeah, thank you guys for coming along today, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.